May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? Now, I would like to start a semi-final round of Jndt tournament. It's my great pleasure to chair this debate match between Waseda English-speaking society on the affirmative and KO English-speaking society on the negative. Well, I'd like to introduce today's honorable judges. Firstly, Miss Aika Maekawa from Osaka University. Then, Mr. Reito Seto from Waseda English-speaking Association. Then, Miss Mako Hayashi from Aoyama Gakuin University. Then you, debaters. Mr. Takuya Ogura from Waseda English-speaking society. Mr. Haruto Kobayashi from Waseda English-speaking society on the affirmative. Then, Mr. Kazunari Shina and Miss Kina Kawamata from KO English-speaking society. Both sides, do you have any question about judging philosophy? Then both sides, are you ready? Chairperson, welcome to first affirmative constructive within 8 minutes.
I will show my roadmap. Affirmative observation, plan, advantage, affirmation, underview. Affirmative observation, plan, advantage, affirmation, underview. In this order.
皆さんもう一回お願いします。
Affirmative observation, plan, advantage, affirmation, underview.
ありがとうございます。
はい。May I start? Affirmative observation. As a point, governmental duty. First, government has constitutional responsibility to secure all people's minimum standard of living, and social security exists for that purpose. This point, change of social structure. First, initially, social security was made for the society where people's mutual support existed with relatives and regions, and lifetime employment was common. Please look at evidence number A1 underlined sentence. Please look at evidence number A1 underlined sentences. Please stop checking. However, second, currently, social structure has changed. The mutual support with relatives or regions weakens, and there are many non-regular workers who cannot get welfare from company. Please look at evidence number A2 underlined sentences. Please look at evidence number A2 underlined sentences. Please stop checking. That means third, under status quo, people cannot rely on others and companies no longer secure people's minimum standard of living. Therefore, social security becomes more important as a last safety net and must not create any leakage. Chisa point, basic income. First, under status quo, social security specifies the target who really in need by application and judgment. Second, basic income, so-called BI, is a periodic cash payment system unconditionally delivered to all on an individual basis. Plan. The Japanese government should introduce basic income. Mandate first. Shall introduce basic income. Second, shall give certain amount of money to all citizens every month. Third, shall abolish current social security in cash payment. Fourth, if necessary, shall increase tax rate. Fifth, shall adjust the amount of basic income and tax rate every year. Sixth, necessary adjustment. Next, go to advantage. ASA point inherency. First, cross-apply affirmative observation CSA point. Under status quo, Social Security specified targets. Such structure create leakage at every process. Second, first leakage. Under status quo, some people cannot apply for public assistance because they are ashamed to be labeled as recipients, in other words, losers. This feeling is called stigma. Moreover, third, second leakage. To judge applicants, caseworker takes means test, which researches their old property and relatives. It makes people hesitate to apply. Fourth, third leakage. Judgment is operated by human. Therefore, even people apply for public assistance, some are rejected by arbitrary decisions and human error. Visa point impact. First, government does not secure all people's minimum standard of living. This situation is against the Constitution. Second, leaked people cannot gain any assistance. At worst, they die. Please look at evidence number A3 underlined sentences. Please look at evidence number A3 underlined sentences. This evidence says that because of caseworkers' rejection, 2 sisters stabbed and such deaths occur frequently in Japan. Please stop checking. CISA point solvency first. After a plan, basic income will be given to all. Therefore, government can secure all people's minimum standard of living and impact will never occur. Next, go to affirmation. ASA point, poverty trap. First, once people become recipients, they continue to depend on public assistance without working. That's because if they start working, the amount of public assistance is adjusted, and the total amount of income rather decreases. This is called poverty trap. Moreover, second, keeping status quo, the number of workable recipients continues to increase, so more people will be caught in poverty trap. Losing such people's opportunity to work is social loss. Please look at evidence number A4 underlined sentences. Please look at evidence number A4 underlined sentences. This evidence says keeping status quo, more and more workable young people will be public assistance recipients. Please stop checking. Third, after a plan, poverty trap will never occur because the amount of basic income will never change by income. Next, go to underview. First, low-income people tend to use their incomes for consumption rather than saving. Therefore, after a plan, because of redistribution, total consumption in the market will increase, and the economy will be enhanced. Please look at evidence number A5 underlined sentences. Please look at evidence number A5 underlined sentences. This evidence says that the economy will be enhanced by basic income based on the people's consumption tendency. Second, please stop checking. Second, basic income can reduce the cost for administration. That's because basic income system needs less human resources than managing various social security. Third, no impact. AI can cover the worker shortage and productivity will rather increase. Actually, AI replaced human employment. It's empirically proven in Japan. Evidence number gamma. 4. A future in which human workers are replaced by machines is about to become a reality at an insurance firm in Japan, where more than 30 employees are being laid off and replaced with an artificial intelligence system that can calculate payouts to policyholders. It will increase productivity by 30%. Moreover, fourth, No linkage and turn. People can use their money correctly and after plan. Rather, such waste money decreases. That's because people have to use money their own responsibility. It's empirically denied. Evidence number beta 4. According to research results, it does not mean that fewer people quit their jobs and spend money smoking cigarettes and alcohol when they are provided with cash.
Story
So,
time.
that's all.
Cross-examination time for negative side. わかります。
May I ask?
Yes.
Firstly, as for advantage, you explained maybe first leakage and second leakage.
Yes.
And what is the difference between those two?
So,
Maybe.
first leakage is stigma. This stigma comes from because they are ashamed to be labeled as recipients itself. This negative, this feeling itself is a feeling, and second leakage is means test. So first leakage stigma comes from as a
maybe second leakage, you say the means test is problem, but as a result of the means test, anyway, the impact is maybe people can apply, right? Then what is the difference between first leakage and second leakage? Maybe anyway, people feel ashamed or they don't like the means test and they cannot apply.
So our crucial point is first stigma is the before application process, and second leakage means test is after application process.
Okay, thank you.
This is difference.
Then observation, B subpoint, you showed maybe the society structure change. So the status quo social security is not suitable now. Then I want to ask, why is the basic income suitable for this changing situation?
So
maybe in B subpoint third card, you said that maybe under status quo people can no longer rely on others or something.
yes, and because of advantages and advantages leakage, so people under status quo people cannot rely on companies and status quo social security is not enough to save all people's minimum standard living because of advantages reason. Therefore, basic income can achieve such purpose.
So anyway, you want to say that leakage is the problem on observation.
So without any support from company or government, such people directly goes to death. This is a crucial impact.
Then why can the basic income solve such problem?
Basic income give money to all people.
Okay. Then as for underview, fourth card, underview fourth card, you explain maybe after plan people can use their money wisely or so.
Yes.
Can you please explain?
Sorry again.
Can you please explain the underview fourth?
Okay. So people can use their money correctly, and after plan, rather such waste money decreases. This is empirically denied.
Okay, can you please explain the reason why people can use? Can you explain the content? Maybe why people can use it correctly? How can you?
Because people have to use money their own responsibility.
So anyway, maybe you want to say that how each person use their money is their own freedom. It's their own responsibility.
Yes.
Story time.
アップレパタイム使わないです。
はい。
I show my road map. あれタイマーがね。ネゲーション1、ネゲーション2、カウンタープラン1、カウンタープラン2、カウンタープラン3、アファメーション、10、アドバンテージ。すいません、もう一回言います。 Negation 1, negation 2, counter plan 1, counter plan 2, counter plan 3, affirmative observation, advantage, affirmation. Then, in this order.
すいません、もう一回言ってもらってもいいですか。
いいです。Firstly, negation 1, negation 2, then counter plan 1, counter plan 2, counter plan 3. Then, after affirmative observation, advantage, affirmation in this order.
受けました。ありがとうございます。
May I? May I start? Negation 1, A upon uniqueness. 1. Under status quo, the government manages social security by providing various types of protection in order to meet each citizen's needs. 2. Moreover, standard of protection is decided annually considering many factors such as living place, family structure, age, or personal problems such as disease, pregnant or not, and so on. Based upon linkage and impact. 1. After plan, by introducing basic income, the government will provide a certain set amount of money for all without considering individual needs. 2. Therefore, there will be people who receive excessive money, which is a waste of government expenditure. On the other hand, there will also be people who will not have enough money for their living. In such situation, basic income cannot be a safety net, which should guarantee the right of life. 3. Moreover, after plan, how people use the money from the government will be free for each person. However, this is against the purpose of Social Security, right? Because there is a risk some people cannot reasonably use it. For example, some may use it for gambling instead of buying food, or some may use all of the money to fulfill their current desire and not keep it to prepare for future risk. And especially because why the people become the poor is the lack of the ability to use the correctly, right? In such situation, of course there is a high risk that just giving money. Then go to negation 2. A subpoint financial resource. 1. Social security deeply depend on the economic situation. For example, social security resource come from tax, which is associated with economic activity. 2. Then, then also the professor calculated that Then 3, however, such drastic change should be avoided as much as possible because if one mistake occurs in economic policy, the impact will affect overall social security. Based upon economic situation. 1. In order to distribute money for all nations, the Japanese government will have to collect money from somewhere. If so, after plan, some will get unsatisfied with the collection by the government, and the possibility that some problem occur will increase. 2. Therefore, first impact. For example, if the target of the collection by the government is the rich might go abroad in order to avoid the governmental collection. As a result, it will lead to shrinking Japanese economy. 3. Moreover, if the Japanese government introduces basic income, the Japanese citizen can live without working. 4. Therefore, second impact, the working incentive of the Japanese nation will decrease. As a result, the total productivity of working will also decrease. Then go to counter plan 1. A subpoint negative income tax. Negative income tax is a social welfare system within the income tax where people earning below a certain amount could receive supplemental pay from the government instead of paying tax. B subpoint mandate. 1. Shall set flat tax rate on income. 2. Shall set a certain standard for the amount of income. 3. Shall collect tax from the people whose income exceed the standard. 4. Shall give the money to the people whose income go below the standard. C subpoint superiority. 1. The efficiency. That because negative income tax doesn't need to distribute money for riches, and we can save the poor efficiently. 2. Risk of bankruptcy. That because the government have to pay much more money under basic income system than under negative income tax system. Therefore, if Great Depression occur or revenue will not reach expenditure, government have to buy more national debt or governmental bonds so as to compensate for what is lacking under basic income. These upon redundancy. If you confuse counter plan 1 or affirmative plan, please vote for counter plan 1. That because in terms of the administration cost or the taking cost, counter plan 1 outweigh affirmative plan. Then go to counter plan 2. A subpoint observation. 1. Designated 暴力団 is the group who are designed by the states. 2. However, such people may commit crime, and many people are afraid of it. B subpoint Monday. 1. Shall give basic income except designated 暴力団. 2. Shall distribute extra money or use it for another policy. 3. Other mandate same as affirmative. C subpoint surveillance superiority. 1. We can capture advantage. 2. We don't have to pay money for such person, and we can prevent such money from being used for illegal way. 3. We can reduce these people by money incentive. D subpoint redundancy. If you confuse affirmative plan or counter plan 2, which is superior, please vote for this counter plan. That because in terms of cost, counter plan outweigh affirmative plan. Then go to counter plan 3. A subpoint Monday. 1. Shall give voucher as basic income. 2. Other mandate same as affirmative. B subpoint solvency superiority. 1. This counter plan can capture solvency. Then we can prevent misuse. 3. We can get better solvency. Then go to affirmative observation. The firstly, affirmative observation B subpoint. They say that because of change, that we have to introduce basic income or something. However, please the evidence check carefully, because the evidence come from such that company cannot the under status quo company cannot save the employer, right? In such situation, this evidence never say that we should introduce basic income. The evidence just say that because of such non-regular worker or something, that the company cannot secure the all employer. Just evidence just say so. In such sense, why uniquely basic income is needed is completely unknown, because under status quo such unemployment insurance exists, or such employment or insurance exists for such person. In such sense, why we have to introduce basic income, or why we have to pay for all nation is completely unknown. Please repeat. Then go to advantage. The first three, first three stigma problem. Then on this point, I show the two refutation. First refutation is no inherently, because under status quo, people comparison how to maximize their own happiness. The in such situation, of course, under status quo to give money, and of course the people comparison to give money and under get to be criticized maybe. Then at that time, of course, there is another choice, not to get the money, but that they can keep the dignity. In such sense, they then compare such a feeling and the giving money. In such sense, of course, why government have to intervene such the way of the people to maximize their own happiness is completely unknown. Right? They are by this taking plan, of course, the government to intervene or government to deprive such a people's value. In such a, of course, it is translation rather the happiness will decrease. There are at least no solvency, because anyway in after plan such a structure never change. Right? Of course, such a poor people money come from somewhere, right? For example, the mainly of niche. In such situation, of course, such a structure never change. In such situation, of course, a feeling of the inside of such poor person people will never be so. In such situation, of course, it is completely no solvency at all. At least as for the human error problem. Then on this point, my first argument is that minor repair. The first three that introduced the artificial intelligence program that's enough, because by this the machine, of course, the human error will be minimized. At least my second argument is the no solvency, because anyway in after plan, who manage such a basic income is the people, right? In such sense, of course, the human problem will never be solved. In such situation, of course, no solvency at all. Please keep.
Story time. Cross-examination time for affirmative side. 測ります。
May I?
Sure.
As for advantages, your minor repair, you say I introduced AI or so.
Yes.
So can you prove the workability of this AI argumentation?
You explain on the maybe affirmation or underview, such AI has progressed or something.
Okay, so yeah, this minor repair depends on our AI argumentation, right?
But maybe, of course, just imagine, of course, the AI can replace such a simple job, right? For example, please imagine the AlphaGo or something.
So
have you seen the AI?
No.
No. Okay, I explained the AI. The AI.
Okay, cool. Next question, like okay. Okay, as for counter plan 3, you say voucher system or so.
Yes.
So what is the superiority?
We can get a better solvency.
Why?
Because there is no misuse to guarantee the all people's minimum.
Okay, so this counter plan avoid people use, for example, gamble, right?
Yes, because the two guarantee the all people's minimum being, such as gambling or such that the alcohol is the unnecessary things, right?
Okay. No.
In such situation, just giving money cannot be so such a problem. Therefore, just giving the voucher, which is limited for the food or house.
So what do you limit the usage?
What do you limit the usage?
Yes.
The necessity things for living.
Okay. So
Gamble is the unnecessary things, right?
okay. Next, negation. As for negation 1, you say some people, after plan, some people cannot use money correctly or so. So after plan, such people will die.
Yes.
Why can you say?
Because by spending their all of the income or such a basic income on the.
Okay. So what is the difference status quo and after plan?
Therefore, we show the counter plan.
So under status quo, so because public assistance exists for some people.
At least there is a slight difference. Because under status quo, there is a many, maybe the case worker investigate such the usage of money.
So your assumption is status quo case worker check the usage of recipient of public assistance, right?
Yes, by means test.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Therefore, the means test is necessary to keep the all people's the people's the minimum standard living.
Okay.
So this is the governmental duty, right? As you say. Therefore, by without means test, of course, this is completely the abolish of the governmental duty, right? Because the government.
Okay. Next question. As for counter plan 1, you say negative income tax. So I think after counter plan, as a burden of the rich people will be higher than basic income. So what do you think?
Why can you say so? Why can you say so?
So negative income tax means so
if so, after plan, where the money resource come from?
Okay, increase tax and abolish social security infrastructure.
What kind of tax?
So we what kind of tax? Many options. We have many options.
Please explain what is the option.
For example,
of course, increase the consumption tax.
For time.
The cooperation tax. Of course,
Free time. Preparation time for affirmative side.
I will show my roadmap. Firstly, counter plan 1, counter plan 2, counter plan 3, affirmative observation, advantage, negation 1, negation 2. Counter plan 1, counter plan 2, counter plan 3, affirmative observation, advantage, negation 1, negation 2. In this order. May I start? As for counter plan 1, on this point, they say redundancy is negative or something. However, first, redundancy goes to affirmative because they never kill plan desirability. Then next, go to solvency and superiorities argumentation. First, it cannot capture stigma's argumentation. As long as the line between recipient and non-recipient exists, stigma continues. Therefore, counter plan cannot capture our inherency. Moreover, second, Taran, such exception procedure is more complex than our plan. So, counter plan needs more cost. Moreover, third, there is a time lag between grasping the income and paying money. Therefore, counter plan cannot adjust to emergency. For example, if Rich's company suddenly collapses after grasping, this counter plan cannot help such people and they die. So therefore, please keep that. Then moreover, on this point, they said waste distribution or something, pay more distribute or something. However, first, their counter plan 1 will reduce people's working motivation because after plan, it is better for people not working than working. Moreover, second, PMA, only rich people cannot enjoy governmental welfare. They only pay income tax. As a result, human resource will flow out. Therefore, we cannot get enough tax revenue. Therefore, simply kick out their argumentation. Then next go to counterplans. Counterplans redundancies argumentation. First, redundancy is affirmative voter because they never kill plan's desirability. Otherwise, it's unfair for affirmative. Moreover, second, topicality is argumentation. Second, initially, gang group members are excluded from social security system in cash payment. I read evidence number D9's quote. Gangsters will not meet the requirement for protection and application will be rejected except in urgent circumstances. In addition, protection will be abolished if the protected person is found to be a gangster while receiving protection. Unquote. We introduce basic as a social security cash payment system. Therefore, considering the range of social security, initially gang group members are exception. Hence, counter plan also gives money to all people. So counter plan is talked about. At least I show plan spike. Firstly, we introduce basic income system. Then we make the law which exclude gang members. Make a law and exclude gang members. That's enough. At least third, all includes exception, particularly English use F5. Cool. All and every can both be used to talk about people or things in general or about all the members of a group. There is a little difference of meaning. Every often suggests without exception. Unquote. Moreover, fourth, no significance. That's because only with the amount of base income, what will occur is totally unknown. Hence, kicker. Moreover, fifth, person inferiority. In the process of exception, human judgment also needed. Then, at that time, such normal people's leakage occur. Therefore, simply kicker. The next go to counter plan 3, redundancy argumentation. First, redundancy goes to affirmative because they never kill plan's desirability. Moreover, second, information. Voucher cannot be deposited in bank. Voucher cannot deposit in bank. Then, in such situation, first inferiority is counter plan has leakage risk because government must provide money to people directly. At that time, it cannot achieve same solvency. In terms of solvency risks, we outweigh. Moreover, third, second inferiority, counter plan cannot secure minimum standard living because necessary cost for minimum standard living, such as education or electricity, cannot be paid by voucher. That's because cannot be deposited bank. And therefore, fourth, cost adoption is the best policy because cash and voucher has merit and demerit, so we can cover each demerit. Moreover, fifth, third inferiority, it needs much cost to publish many voucher every month. However, six, no inherency. Why unnecessary thing is but it's totally unknown, right? Hence, no superiority. Moreover, seven, PM and Taran. After counter plan, the cost for living is replaced with vouchers, so people can use extra money for gambling. As a result, after counter plan, unnecessary things spending will increase. At least the plan spike shall ban the gamble itself. Shall ban the gamble itself. Then next go to affirmative observation. I can affirm affirmative observation, simply extend all argumentation. Government has constitutional responsibility to secure people's minimum standard. Then at that time, in the past, such minimum standard is secured by the company and mutual support and social security. However, status quo only social security can secure such people's minimum standard. Therefore, even if social security make a leakage, such people directly goes to the death situation. This is our impact. Then on this point, they said this company and basic terms not only way or something. However, they totally misunderstand our argumentation. Our evidence says status quo, many people is out of company's protection. This is a crucial point. Moreover, status quo, because of globalism or something, all people have a possibility suddenly to be poor and jobless people. Therefore, we must introduce basic. Moreover, simply extend CISA point. Pointers argumentation. Status quo social security gives when people really need a situation. However, basic and periodic cash payment. Therefore, people never be in really need a situation. Therefore, kicker. Then next go to advantage. Advantage on this point is a stigma. After plan, the bad feeling is or something. However, first, the label itself is disappear. Therefore, no one criticizes. Moreover, second, freedom choice is distorted by the social pressure. This is our crucial point. The right is guaranteed on the life secured. Therefore, simply kick out. Then at least no impact at all. After plan, people can live basic plan. Then next go to false argumentation. AI replace or something. However, first, no workability at all. Then their argumentation depends on our underviews argumentation. However, if AI makes the leakage, such people directly cause the death situation. Therefore, social security must not create any leakage. Therefore, basic comes as the best policy. Therefore, kicker. Then next about no solvency argumentation. Down below, no solvency argumentation. They totally misunderstand our argumentation. Our argumentation indicating that the judgment process, therefore, initially relevant at all. Moreover, second, if to some extent leakage occurs, such people can go to the office and get the basic income is possible. Therefore, no impact at all. Moreover, second, next go to negation. Negation. As for linkage first card, on this point they say minimum standard is different or something. However, sir, closer supply and advantage argumentation, such frequently starvation occur. This is our impact. Moreover, you only say decrease, never say die. However, status quo liquid people actually die. Therefore, in terms of quality, we outweigh. Then, moreover, force card, as for linkage force card, on this point, they say the people use money for gambling or something. However, simply cross supply under this argumentation, it is empirically denied. Moreover, second, no difference. Status quo also pay money as a public assistance. The only difference of status quo and after plan is government secure specific people's minimum standard living or all people's minimum standard living. After plan situation is surely better. At least shall regulate the such gambling system. Then next go to negation 2. As for second card, on this point they say rich go flow out or something. However, first, no proof why only to escape from burden, go abroad and start working without abolish status quo. Securing life is totally unknown, right? Therefore, it's too unrealistic for them to abandon stable life and job. As long as they never prove it, no linkage at all. Moreover, second, status quo, there are high possibilities suddenly to be poor. However, after plan, even if they become poor, they can live by basic income. Therefore, after plan is better for rich people. As for fourth card, on this point, moreover, cross supply and abuse card, consumption increase. The benefit also goes to the also goes to the rich, therefore simply kicker. Then as for fourth card, on this point they say working incentive decrease or something. However, first, no impact. Productivity has been raised by capital equipment and innovation. Number of workers doesn't relate to its growth, it's empirically proven. Evidence number omega. GDP has little to do with population. Japan grew at annual levels of 10%. And 9% is the rate of increase in labor productivity is a result of the raised capital equipment ratio and innovation. Therefore, no impact at all. Moreover, government can many ways.
Free time. Cross-examination time for negative side. 測ります。
May I ask?
Sure.
Firstly, as for counter plan 1, you said that maybe you showed maybe many limitation. Then
Yes.
firstly, as for turnaround, you said complexity or something. Then what is complex?
Exception procedure is more complex than our plan.
Why?
So our plan needs more cost.
Why?
That's because basic income constantly deliver to all. However, such your counter plan 1 except process is needed, right?
We never accept, right? Just set the standard, right?
Okay, at that time, such set the standard is more complex than our plan.
After plan, of course, after plan, the basic income the amount of basic income should be set by the government, right? In such situation, what is the difference?
One more, please.
Yeah. Of course, in after plan, the government have to adjust as you plan say, government has to adjust the tax rate and the amount of the basic income, right? In such situation, of course, the making a set or making a standard is a completely the non-difference even in the in after counter plan or even in the after plan, right? Then what is the difference of the complexity?
That is basic income deliver to all.
Okay.
No exception.
Go to the next question. Then, as for you say the PMA or something, the human resource will flow out or something.
That's because rich people cannot get any benefit from that.
In such situation, why after plan such situation never be occur?
That's because basic income they can keep.
But the burden of the basic income will exceed such the benefit of basic income.
At that time, you only assume the burden situation, right? However, people can gain when they born and when they die. This is the basic income security.
When they gain, when they born, please.
When they born, rise up.
Oh.
And until when they die.
Yes, of course. The NIT has also be received to the child and to be the old people from the born and until die. What is the difference of the flow out?
However, your counter plan 1 adjusted by the income, right?
Of course, your after affirmative plan also adjusted by many taxes, right? Okay, next question. You say the negative income tax reduced the working incentive or something. Why?
That's because if they work more, they will be a tax burden.
Then in after plan, why such situation never be occur?
That's because basic income unconditionally deliver to.
Then the tax burden will, where the tax burden will go in
Okay.
after plan.
Your counter plan one is
No, please explain in after plan. Such the burden.
okay. However, burden increase or something. However, if they have 10 million income, if they have 2 million income, they can give basic income. This is our question.
But the burden also increase, right? Why is that
However,
all people's benefit of the basic income outweigh all people's basic income burden?
However,
You give such the poor people such the additional money. Of course, such additional money, where the additional money come from? Such mainly the rich people, right?
okay, that's because of the progressive income tax. If they work more, the income never.
But of course, even under the flat tax rate, of course, the more they earn, of course, the more burden will increase, right?
One more, please.
Even in the flat tax rate, of course, the more that they lose.
Time. Preparation time for negative side 測ります。残り2分4秒です。
I show my roadmap. Affirmation. AD. Underview. Observation. Negation 1. Negation 2. In this order. Affirmation, AD, underview, observation, negation 1, negation 2. In this order. May I start? Firstly, affirmation. 1AC says that maybe poverty trap occurs or so. However, the problem of this poverty trap is that maybe under status quo, if poor people, even if they work, the amount of income will, the public assistance will decrease that much is the problem. However, if so, I shall minor repair, shall make a system that if the more people work, the more income increases for such person. Then this can create the incentive to work. For example, the tax reduction or the changing the minimum wage to make the minimum wage outweigh the public assistance fee. This can be enough to generate the motivation. Then down below, the second card, they showed that maybe under status quo, the workable recipients increasing and increasing. However, I show card check. Their evidence never says that because of the poverty trap, the social loss is increasing. Their evidence contents is just saying that maybe young people's unemployment rate is increasing and increasing. If so, minor repair shall maybe train the young people so that they can get a new job. This shall be enough. Therefore, this never says because of the poverty trap, people cannot work. Please remember. Then go to AD. Then on advantage, the affirmative keeps on saying maybe the leakage must be avoided at most. If so, however, to do so, this involves a huge cost to introduce the basic income. I show information. According to Professor Ide, who specializes in economics, to guarantee average minimum living standard for single person by basic income, we need about 173 trillion yen, and to increase consumption tax by 67% is necessary. I read the evidence. Quote, the average amount of public assistance payments for a single person household is about 120,000 yen per month, although the amount varies by region. If there were to be provided to all citizens, a budget of 173 trillion yen would be needed. So the tax rate would have to be increased by another 62%. Existing Social Security could be abolished, but to be provided as BI. However, since Social Security benefits currently cost 121 trillion yen, even if there were to abolish all of them, including healthcare, we would need to raise the spending tax by another 23%, unquote. Therefore, we can conclude that introducing basic income is a big reform of Social Security. Therefore, affirmative has to clearly show how they collect this much money, that is 170 trillion yen after plan. Please remember. Then go to underview. Then underview, first card, they say that after plan, the consumption will increase or so. However, after plans, but by just receiving money, whether such people will actually use for consumption is totally unknown, right? Therefore, too, I shall minor repair, shall put tax on the money in the bank, like wealth tax. So therefore, people will stop keeping money in their bank, and they will actually use it, because if they keep it in the bank, then the tax rate increases. This shall be enough. Therefore, this cannot be a reason to introduce basic income. Then For the third card, they say that after plan, maybe AI will increase the productivity or so. However, this evidence is too partial because whether all their evidence contents is just that maybe in one insurance company, the productivity will increase thanks to the AI. However, this never kills the linkage of our negation to whether the loss of the consumption after plan will be fully covered by AI is totally unknown. Moreover, cross-apply their affirmative refutation on AD minor repair. Affirmative also doubts the AI progress, right? Maybe AI makes mistakes or something, therefore please kick out. Then down below, they show no leakage and turnaround. Maybe after plan, people will not will use the money wisely or so. However, this is also a partial argument because please check their evidence beta. Their evidence just says that maybe after delivering cash, some people reduce the purchases for alcohol, but this never kills our whole argument on negation one. That is, some people may use for gambling, but this is not the only misuse. Maybe some people cannot keep the money for the future risks or so. Therefore, this is also partial, and status quo social security is on balance better. Then go to observation. Then observation, the affirmative says maybe the structure has changed, so the basic income is necessary. However, extend one and see why this can be a reason we should introduce basic income is totally unknown. Of course, today's social security can also secure such people that unemployment insurance or so. Therefore, moreover, maybe affirmative wants to say that there are many various risks and they want to prevent people becoming poor itself or so. However, please don't misunderstand because, okay, maybe many risks exist, but as a result, what happens is only one, that is people become poor. Then the crucial point is whether we can save such poor people or not. So please don't be tricked by such magic word. Then go to negation one. Then negation one, we explain about how after plan, if people, first argument is after plan, that some people will not receive enough money because basic income is the same amount for every person. For some people, the money they receive will decrease from today's public assistance. Therefore, the advantage becomes PMA. Moreover, our second argument is that third card after plan, if people can use their money freely, there's risks that they will use it for gambling or maybe people cannot keep their money for the future risk. Then affirmative made many refutations, but maybe they're all partial and they only talk about the gambling situation, but never kill the second example, that is, people do not save their money for their future risk. Then on observation, the affirmative claims that many risks exist. If so, rather the government has to provide people the many kinds of insurance, such as unemployment insurance or the pension system. That is today's cash benefit. This is necessary to help each person keep their money and prepare for the risk in case of risk. Therefore, to achieve observation, negation one proves the necessity for the government to intervene and actually help each person. Therefore, today's social security is superior. Then their refutation against third card is maybe no difference because the status quo also provides the money as public assistance. However, as I said, in the cash benefit that they will replace after plan includes the insurance, right? Therefore, please cross-apply my argument. Then I'll go to negation two. Then negation two, I want to say that after plan, to collect the money for the basic income, some part of the burden for some people will increase. Then if the target is the rich people, such income tax, the first impact happens, that is, rich people go abroad and the economy declines. And on this point, the refutation is no proof why such people will abolish status quo life is unknown or so. However, as long as the solvency of AD is guaranteed, there must be increase in the burden. Therefore, on balance for the rich people, the burden will increase and linkage is guaranteed. And down below, third argument, they say maybe consumption will increase and the rich will get benefit. However, you already refuted on underview. And our second impact is that people's working incentive will decrease. And on this point, they say no impact, maybe productivity number never relates to the number of workers never relate to the productivity. However, please look at their evidence omega. That says this evidence content just says that productivity increases thanks to the increasing of the equipment, but this is just natural statement, right? But they never say that the equipment can cover the loss of the productivity of the loss of people. Of course, who uses the equipment are the humans, right? Therefore, if the workforce decreases, then the productivity also decreases. Therefore, their evidence omega never kills our second impact linkage. Therefore, after plan, moreover, the affirmative side completely grants the linkage itself that with basic income, people's motivation to work will decrease.
cross-examination for affirmative side. 測ります。
Yes.
As for B's point's argumentation, working decrease or something, then how many people quit the job?
Maybe the more we never explain how many people, but as long as you can understand, as long as the solvency on AD is explained by the affirmative, this means that people's minimum standard living will be guaranteed, and this can decrease the motivation for some people.
Okay, thank you. Then I change question. Then as for negation 1, B's point's third argumentations, my no difference, your refutation, please explain.
So on our third card, you said that maybe no difference because status quo already people receive cash as public assistance, right?
Yes.
But we want to say that the difference in status quo and after plan is that, as you explained in your mandate, you will abolish today's cash benefit, right? Cash payment.
Yes. Then, okay. Then after plan also pay cash for the people, right? Then status quo also pays the cash to secure minimum standard. Then what's the difference status quo and after plan?
Yes. So you say that the difference is the cash payment will disappear after plan. In your mandate, you say the government will abolish status quo cash payment, right? Then what is included in the cash payment is, for example, unemployment insurance or the pension system, right? Then what the function of these.
Okay. Then if people give the insurance, jobless insurance, then why people can use money correctly?
No, that's because the unemployment insurance is money that the government keeps for each person in case they become unemployed, right? But after plan, you abolish that, and the government just currently gives money to the people. Then they just simply distribute money.
Okay, thank you. Then I change the question. Then advantage flow sheet. You show the feasibility of income. Then you show the feasibility of income, right?
Feasibility of income.
You say we affirmative must show the information how to collect money.
Yes.
Then why we have to inform the money itself? Then your evidence shows the feasibility of the basic income itself, right?
No. We say that we need 170 trillion yen additionally. Then where will you collect such money? You have to show, because as long as you don't show, there's risk that additional disadvantage happens, such as look at our negation to first impact. The burden for some people increase and the rich people will go abroad. So without the management of the after plan finance situation, you cannot say that affirmative plan is desirable.
Okay, then I change the question. Then as for if the people if keep social security as a by consumption tax, how much percent will be become?
I'm sorry.
We abolish status quo social security and introduce basic income. Then please show the evidence that before they introduce basic income situation.
So please look. Our evidence contents is that maybe status quo social security cost only 121 trillion yen.
Okay, sorry. Next about underviews, please explain your minor repairs argumentation.
Underview, underview, you say maybe the problem is after plan by giving money, the consumption will increase, right? But we say that is not a reason to introduce basic income. Minor repair, such as putting tax on the money in the bank, saving money by putting tax on the saving money in the bank can be enough to stimulate the consumption of people.
Free time. Preparation time for negative side 使いますか？
はいです。ごめんなさい。相性前ロードマップ、アドバンテージ、カウンタープラン1、カウンタープラン2。で、エビを使うんで、ちょっと送ります。あと、相手のエビの、エビデンスナンバー D9 と、あと、オールの意味のエビを開いといてくれると、多分結構、楽に移動できると思うんで。
ごめんなさい。ロードマップもう一回お願いします。
はい。アドバンテージ、カウンタープラン1、カウンタープラン2です。
ありがとうございます。
はい、で、エビデンス Y と Z と、さっきアファが出してくれたエビデンス D9 と多分ちょっと番号がないんでちょっと言えないんですけど、オールのデフのエビを使うんで、それを、まあ、4つ開いといてくれるとありがたいです。May I? So, firstly, as for advantage, then as for A subpoint, then on this point, there's the two problems, such as stigma problem and the human error problem. I view to firstly, as for the stigma problem, then on this point, they please extend the 1NC limitation, such as non-inherency and non-supremacy. The firstly, as for non-inherency, of course, under status quo, the people always compare such a merit and demerit. For example, merit getting the money and the demerit of the being criticized or something. In such situation, of course, to maximize their own happiness, of course, they choose the way to maximize their own happiness. In such situation, of course, even after plan, government intervenes such a value, right? Then in such situation, of course, government orbitarily such the paying money on each citizen. In such situation, of course, such value that not to get money, but to keep the dignity. Such value is completely deprived. In such situation, of course, the too much my their own happiness is a complete that cannot be so. Rather such the social happiness decreasing. At least please extend no solvency. Please because even after plan, of course that's the structure never change. Of course that's where the poor where the basic income which is delivered for poor. Where such the money resource come from? They meet the mainly on the rich people, right? Otherwise, of course, the PMA, because even the burden on the poor will strengthen or will be exist. In such situation, of course, to keep or to achieve the affirmative goal, of course, we have to impose or we have to put the burden on the mainly rich, right? In such situation, such structure never change. Therefore, such the criticized problem and such the feelings problem never be so. Please keep it. At least as for human error problem, then firstly, please extend minor repair. The only point is that any leakage shall not be or something. However, this cannot be refuted on the minor repair, right? Therefore, not to allow such not to allow the leakage. Of course, we have to introduce a basic income. Then replace the error to decrease to minimize the risk of leakage. Then this scenario they completely granted that this scenario is at least as for no solvency. They say that the going city office is enough for something. However, of course, the why then who check in city office is the human, right? The in such chain, of course, the human error is the still remain. The in such chain, of course, such this cannot refute about the going city office problem. Therefore, to achieve the advantage problem, of course, what the government should do is that to guarantee the all people's mere living, right? Especially poor. Because why we have to guarantee the minimum standard living of rich is completely unknown. Therefore, we have to focus on the poor people. In such sense, of course, our counter plan is better than the affirmative plan. Then go to counter plan one. On this point, they say that stigma no solvency or something. However, also affirmative plan no solvency, as I say in the advantage. Therefore, it is completely irrelevant on the affirmative counter plan. Then as cross apply the underview the advantage macron to guarantee the poor's the minimum standard living is the most crucial thing. In such sense, of course, counter plan is best please extend the first superiority, that's the efficiency of saving power. At least please extend the second superiority. Of course, they never refute about the second superiority. Therefore, in terms of superiority, of course, the counter plan one, counter our affirmative plan. At least the redundancy, they say that this counter plan never kill the plan desirability or something. However, of course, in terms of cost, of course, we show the counter plan one desirability. In such of course, the desirability of counter plan outweighs the desirability of the affirmative plan. In such of course, there is no desirability to take the affirmative plan. At least they show the many turnaround, but please assume that their plan. Of course, they have to adjust and they have to investigate, right? Therefore, that's the cost of to investigate or the complex system is completely offset. Therefore, in terms of superiority, of course, our counter plan is superior than the affirmative plan. Then go to the counter plan 2. The crucial point is that this is topical or not. In that sense, of course, please firstly I show the Kache. Please look at the evidence number D9. I read the evidence code. The youngster will not meet the requirement for protection. Uncle. Therefore, the youngster already have the right to get the public assistance, but they cannot meet the requirement. Therefore, they will be rejected. Therefore, such an initially excluded argument is completely irrelevant. Please keep it. Then at least they show the plan spike. Then on the plan spike, this plan spike is completely dependent on the all meaning, right? Then I show the Kache. Then their evidence say all and every can both be used to talk about people or things in general or about all member or group. There is a little difference of meaning. Every often suggests without exception. Therefore, they show that every the definition of every, right? Therefore, in such sense, of course, this evidence never show all means that include exception. Therefore, please keep it. Therefore, initially this counter plan is completely non-topical. They at least please extend our superiority. They completely granted. Therefore, superiority outweighs the counter affirmative plan.
Preparation time for affirmative side 残り4分34秒です。測ります。
I will show my roadmap. Counter plan 1, counter plan 2, affirmation. Affirmation under view, advantage よろしくね。Then negation 2, negation 1. In this order.
ごめんなさい、もう一回お願いします。
Counter plan 1, counter plan 2, affirmation, under view, advantage, negation 2, negation 1. In this order. May I? As for counter plan 1, firstly, cross apply affirmative observation. The most important thing for government is to secure all people's minimum standard of living. However, extend our time lag argumentation. They never refute this point. Therefore, if they lose their jobs, they must live without any support until next income research. So during such time, their living will be in danger. This is violate governmental task. To avoid this, they must do income research more frequently or remain employment insurance. However, in order to take such measures, more and more cost will be needed. Their superiority and competitiveness comes from this point. Therefore, at that time, this counter plan is totally gone. Moreover, simply extend Sigma's argument. Their reputation totally depends on AD. So if AD stands, this counter plan cannot be taken. Next, go to counter plan 2. As for counter plan 2, there is a card check also. However, card check cannot be evaluated. Our evidence surely say the meaning of every and all, and uniquely say every cannot include exception. Every cannot include exception. Please simply consider this means that all can include exception. Please evaluate this point. At least our plan spike initially introduce basic income, then make a law which exclude gang members. So why this is non-topical is totally unknown, and then simply extend our no significance argument and no inferiority argument. They never refute this point. So any refutation is new. Please keep it. Next, what affirmation? They show two minor repair. However, okay, I grant that their minor repair also can capture the poverty trap itself. However, they never deny the fact that after plan basic income can also solve the poverty trap. Then this is round consensus that after plan poverty trap people will start to work. Please keep it. Next, go to underview. They just they show minor repair also. However, they just show the minor repair never kill. They just show the minor repair and they never kill solvency itself. Please keep it. At least I show inferiority. After minor repair, the amount of money in the bank will decrease. Therefore, bank cannot invest companies because of lack of money in the bank. Therefore, after minor repair, economy will rather worse because of in the bank there is no money. Therefore, bank cannot invest companies in the market. This is inferiority. Next, go to advantage. On this point, they say show tax or something. However, first they clearly show feasibility, therefore no impact at all. Moreover, they only assume consumption tax and not considering abolish social security payment. Moreover, second, status quo social security also collect by many income, by many tax. Considering people's burden after plan also apply this situation to after plan situation. Status quo social security. Okay, next go to negation 2. In negation 2, there are two argumentations. First is rich will go abroad because of increasing burden also. However, it is difficult to consider that such increasing burden actually make rich go abroad. That's because rich people will also get benefits from basic income. First benefit is rich can get safety net. Even though they are rich, the possibility that they become poor surely exists. Therefore, this can be benefit for rich. Second benefit is increasing economy. Cross apply and be first. After plan, because of increasing consumption, economy will be enhanced. In such situation, rich also gets benefit. Moreover, foreign companies and people will come to Japan to seek such business chances because of increasing economy. Their second limitation is after plan, the motivation to work will decreasing also. However, firstly, extend our AI augmentation. Keeping status quo, thanks to AI developing, less human power will be needed. They say this evidence is partial also. However, in common sense, in future, AI technology will developing. Please keep it. Moreover, cross-apply information after plan, because poverty trap will disappear compared with status quo, more people will start to work. At least cross-apply and be first card after plan because of increasing consumption. Economy will be enhanced. They may say in long term consumption will decrease also. However, please simply consider as long as the amount of money in Japan does not change, if some people's total income decreases, others will get more benefit. So such people will consume more and more. Therefore, even in long term economy will not be worse. Considering this, their impact will never be occur. But even if their scenario stands, impact will be partial. In such situation, we can adjust the basic income system, such as increasing burden. Therefore, sustainability will be guaranteed. So we should take plan to guarantee all people's minimum standard of living. Then next, go to negation one. In negation one, negative stance is basic income cannot meet the easy people's demand. However, simply extend our no uniqueness card, indicating that under status quo, 80% of people cannot take any support. Moreover, simply extend our evidence that after plan, rather people will rather use money correctly. That's enough. That's all.
Time. Preparation time for negative side. 残り2分4秒です。測ります。
I show my roadmap. Counter plan 2. AD. Negation 2. Observation. Negation 1. Then counter plan 1 in this order. Counter plan 2. AD. Negation 2. Observation. Negation 1. Counter plan 2. AD. Negation 2. Counter plan 1. Observation. Negation 1 in this order. May I start? Firstly, counter plan 2, the refutation about the income research's new argument. At least if they check the each month of the checking each month of the counter plan 2. The crucial point is the definition of all. However, please extend the one in our card check. That is, their evidence just say the word every includes exception. Therefore, kick out because they never explain about the meaning of all. Evidence never says all includes the exception. Therefore, after plan, we should the count superiority remains that we shouldn't give money to the gang people because it will be used for the crimes. The affirmative completely grants the superiority. Therefore, counter plan 2 can stand. Then go to therefore extend the superiority, and then superiority outweighs the inferiority. Then moreover about the significance, the one in our already explains that is not to give money for the crime, to increase the crime. Please remember. Then go to AD. Then on AD, firstly, extend our cost argument. Please check our evidence, the cost argument evidence, and while you listen to my speech. So the affirmative must explain after plan how they collect the 170 trillion yen that is the resource for the basic income, to what extent the tax increase, or how the citizens will accept paying such high consumption tax or the income tax, then who will pay for the increasing burden. The affirmative has to prove the finance management. That's because therefore, even if 2AR shows many reasons to take the plan, without the clear management of the finance situation, you must vote for the negative because it has risk to generate additional disadvantage, such as our negation, the burden for rich people increase. Please remember this point. Then look at, negation 2. Maybe on negation 2, the affirmative's last refutation is maybe adjust basic income to avoid this or so. However, this adjustment then becomes the PMA against their advantage, right? Because if they adjust the basic income to avoid negation 2, then the maybe burden for rich people decrease, but the poor people's burden will increase, and we cannot solve the we cannot secure the minimum standard of living. Therefore, the affirmative must clearly explain how they will get the money resource and how they will avoid such negation to impact. Then, sorry, go back to AD. Then on advantage, the affirmative, please extend the against the stigma problem, extend no inherency and no solvency. That is, under status quo, people, the values of each people is valued because it is the result of the comparison. Some people choose to not to get the money but keep their dignity. Please extend one NR. Then moreover, the no solvency, that is even after plan, the structure problem will never change. Then go to negation 2. Then negation 2, the extent of first impact, that is rich people will go abroad, and second impact, the working incentive will decrease and the productivity will decrease. Then the affirmative, the refutation just tries to deny the risk, but never denies the impact itself, right? Then the impact of this negation 2 is the whole country, and this must outweigh all affirm AD inherency, because if this negation 2 happens, Japanese finance will collapse and whole country will be affected. For example, the public services or the infrastructure will not be maintained. Therefore, this must outweigh all the inherency. Therefore, this negation 2 must be the first prioritized to avoid. At least, even if you confuse whether the economy declines or improves, you should vote for negative, because this unclearness itself becomes the PMA against affirmative goal. While affirmative goal is to secure the citizens, if the finance collapses, we cannot maintain the basic income. Therefore, we must carefully consider. Then go to counter plan 1. Then counter plan 1 is at least even if you think the necessity of affirmative plan, counter plan 1 is better. This is our conclusion. That is because the first refutation about income resource, this is new argument, but at least by checking each month of their income, then this is enough. Moreover, the extender 1 in our argument, that is the affirmative grants the stigma problem is no solvency. If their argument on counter plan 1 is true, then the crucial point is how we secure the minimum standard living of each person. Then extender superiority, that is, that outweighs the inferiority, because we do not have to the risk of bankruptcy and the administration cost. Therefore, the counter plan 1 can secure the nations and cut costs. Therefore, superiority outweighs the inferiority. At least redundancy must go to negative because it needs less cost. Therefore, our conclusion is that there is no necessity. We cannot find any necessity to give to us.
There is no time to preparate, so please start a speech for negative affirmative.
I will show my roadmap. Firstly, counter plan 2. Affirmative observation. Counter plan 1. Advantage. Affirmation. Negation 1. Negation 2. Sorry, I change order. Firstly, counter plan 3. Counter plan 2. Affirmative observation. Advantage. Affirmation. Negation 1. Negation 2. Sorry. Counter plan 3, counter plan 2, affirmative observation with negation 1, 2, advantage, and view in this order. May I? Our first conclusion is plan spike is now. All surely includes exception because of partner's reason. At least they never show why plan spike action is non-topical action. At that time, this plan spike should be evaluated. My second conclusion is after plan leakage risk exists. Our inherent leakage risk exists. Our inherency comes from leakage, and it is round consensus. Government must secure all people's minimum standard. At that time, in the process of deciding who is gang, there is a risk that the people who are not gang will suffer and die. They never refute this point. Considering this, counter plan should not be taken. Then next go to counter plan 3. They never refute this point. Simply extend my partner's mechanism. That's enough. Then next go to affirmative observation. Then please simply extend my evaluations people's minimum standard. Therefore, social security make leakage. Such people directly go to this situation. This another crucial point. Then moreover, status quo, many people have a possibility to be poor suddenly because of a globalism and something. Then therefore, we must provide to the money for the all people. Moreover, status quo, social security is secure poor people by the after management. However, basic income periodically pay the money. Therefore, people never become the really in need situation. This is the superiority and desirability of the basic income. Please remember this point. Then next go to negation one. Then negation one flows it on this point. They said only say to some people decrease income. To some people decrease the public assistance. However, status quo, such leakage people have no countermeasure for to leave. However, on this point, you only say that decrease it to say. Therefore, there are no and never say die. Therefore, in terms of quality, we surely outweigh. Please remember this point. Moreover, please Gamble's argumentation simply extend my tuition argumentation. It is totally empirical denied in underused evidence. Moreover, no difference and status quo after plan. Therefore, no difference. Please remember this point. Then, sorry, next go to counter plan one. Counter plan one, cross apply affirmative action to secure all minimum standards is most important. At that time, simply extend our time lag argumentation. After counter plan, if people could not take money late to their jobs, they cannot take any support until next income research. This against the government tasks. Therefore, basic income is a better way. Moreover, stigma argumentation depends on AD. So if AD stands, please don't take this counter plan. Then moreover, next go to negation 2. Then negation 2 on this point is rich flow out something. However, simply extend the 2AC's argumentation. Abolish such rich people in order to avoid tax, they have to abolish status quo, stable life, and go abroad and new business. This is too unrealistic. Moreover, basic income also better for rich people because of the possibility to become poor and consumption increase cross supply and become. Therefore, impact is never occur. At most too small. Then, moreover, on this point is working motivation decrease or something. However, cross supply affirmative the government has a duty to secure people. Then at that time, basic income is the best way. That's because basic income only guarantee people's basic needs. Then at that time, they minimize that motivation decrease and secure all people. This is a desirability of the basic income. Therefore, please simply kick up. Then at least if to some extent, some people over on this point, they say some working population decrease or something. However, cross apply QA time, they never show the number. Then at that time, please simply cross apply, simply extend my partner's argumentation, such as poverty trap people start to. Therefore, simply offset this argumentation. Then at least to some extent, some may quit, some more people quit. However, please simply extend my third and fourth refutation. That is intended to say AI can replace such job. And productivity is mostly related to the capital equipment. Therefore, impact is too small. At that time, government can collect money in any way. Then next go to advantage process. Then as for cost argumentation, simply extend my partner's argumentation. Status quo social security also collected by many tax. There are no difference and after plan also government adjust considering people's effect. That's enough. Moreover, on this point they say that stigma disappear or something. However, our goal is to secure all people's minimum standard. Then at that time, to some extent, such bad feeling exists. No impact at all. That's because they can live basic income. This is our goal. Then on this point, they said the minor repair AI or something. However, you should show 100% workability. That's because leakage people directly go through the situation. Then, moreover, on this point, human error after plan exists or something. However, after plan, if you make leakage, such people have countermeasure to leave. Then, however, status quo's judgment process to misjudge is people deserve not to receive public assistance. Then, at that time, such people no countermeasure for to leave. This is our crucial point. Please pick up. Then they never show no way to eliminate the leakage. Therefore, AD surely stand. This is our affirmative goal. Therefore, please vote for affirmative. That's all.
Great time. Now, semi-final round is all over. Thank you for your nice cooperation. エビの、エビ、エビ。あ、エビさん、ありがとうございます。